It's a beautiful day, is it not? It's a beautiful day indeed. It's a beautiful day for you to be you to the fullest. How about that there? All right, hey. So I'm here today to talk about a very important topic, man. And it's something that the whole nation been watching. Um, America, we're one of the greatest countries, in the history of mankind. We actually give our citizens the right to protest, the right to speak out against what people feel is unjust by their government, by their political system, freedom of speech, etc. It's a wonderful thing, right? We allow the KKK to protest, different groups who a lot of Americans may not agree with to go out there and protest. And as of late, actually just last Friday, I believe was the Day Without an Immigrant protest. Supposed to be a nationwide thing that went on throughout the United States to basically protest against what Donald Trump has set forth, right? Donald Trump ran on a promise on what he was going to do, huh? And that man is keeping his word. Somebody say, keeping your word. You understand me? Following through. You know what I'm saying? Like Steph Curry, but not like Steph Curry as of late because he ain't been playing his best basketball. But I believe you can never count the Warriors out. But we're not here to talk about the Warriors. We're here to talk about these protests and what they mean. So um, I'm going to give y'all my thoughts on this. And I know a lot of Americans feel the same way. I really feel as though the Hispanic American community really dropped the ball. They really fumbled the pass. They really like caught the lob and just fumbled, man. Matter of fact, they just like didn't even participate. Like they like, oh gosh, look, Donald Trump and ICE is coming to deport your family from the United States back to the country of their origin, be it Mexico, be it Honduras, be it Colombia, be it Iraq, Afghanistan, China. You say they can't go out and protest, but you can. These people are, most of them, I would imagine, are, or at least a fair percentage of them are the children of illegal immigrants, okay? The children of those who violated American law in unlawfully entering into the country. How many people understand that to unlawfully enter into America is a misdemeanor crime, punishable by a fine and up to 2 years in jail? How many of y'all understood this? It's a crime to enter into America unlawfully. Nonetheless, you who are their children through the 14th Amendment are given birthright citizenship. So now the spotlight is on y'all. The spotlight is on y'all. Y'all have the moment to capture the hearts and minds of not just the American people, but of all people throughout the world, including actual Mexicans in Mexico. And what do? They go out in the street and say, Viva Mexico. They go out in the street with one American flag for every 100 Mexican flags. They go out in the street and say things that a land that is stolen, no one is illegal in a stolen land. They fumble the ball. They basically flip the bird, so to speak. They flip off America by doing all of the aforementioned things. The American people might have had a change of heart if this group of people would have went out there in the grace that they should be showing. These people should be grateful to be American citizens. Mexico have done absolutely nothing for you. Honduras and all these other, they've done absolutely nothing for you. Why aren't the Chinese and the Middle Eastern and the Jamaican and Haitian immigrants waving their flags? You know why? I would imagine, because they have more decency. They have more respect for America than to do that. So what this group of protesters, if you want to call them that, have actually done is they've told on themselves. They've told the entire world where their mental allegiance lies. And the sad part about that is real Mexicans, a lot of real Mexicans don't even agree with y'all. They do not agree with you waving their flag because y'all don't have citizenship in Mexico. Y'all are US citizens. You're not going to be a part. You're not getting that Mexican retirement plan. I heard every Mexican, if you're born in Mexico, no matter where you live in the world, you're eligible for some benefit after a certain amount at a certain age or whatever. Y'all ain't getting that. Y'all was born in America. You trying to get Social Security. Mexico ain't done nothing for you. And you disrespect Mexicans, the actual Mexicans, by doing the things that they're doing. It wasn't very well thought out. This, in my opinion, is probably one of the worst protests I've ever seen. It was actually terrible. See, because like I said, if they would have went out there in grace, and showed solidarity with with the people of America, the proud Americans, by waving the United States flag, it would have been different. Maybe people would have had a change of heart. Maybe people would have understood that, you know what? No, these people, they want to assimilate into American society. They want to contribute to the furtherance of a strong America. They want to see America be great again, as it were. They want to make this nation strong. And Americans would have respected that. Instead, they said, no, we want to make Mexico strong. Viva Mexico. Viva la raza. We want to see our people get strong. Matter of fact, this land was stolen from us. So now none of us are illegal. None of us are illegal on this stolen land. You've told on yourselves. You've self snitched. And you've actually proven that Donald Trump and Matt Holmgren were right. That y'all are a threat to the sovereignty of the United States of America. How does America deal with threats? It's just historically, how does America deal with threats? But honestly, what I saw from these people is what I already knew because this is something that I've lived. Majority of discrimination lawsuits in the state where I reside, California, are not Mexicans being discriminated upon by white people. It's not black people being discriminated upon by white people. It is actually African Americans being discriminated upon by Hispanics. If you've worked in any warehouse environment in California, you understand how when you as an African American come around and the group of Hispanic Americans who you know can speak English start speaking Spanish when you come around, all the little subtle disses that they do towards African American people. I already knew where the allegiance of a lot of Mexican Americans stands. It stands with the raza. And to the raza, there is no such thing as an illegal Mexican. It doesn't matter how they got here. It doesn't matter if they paid a cartel $10,000 to cross into America illegally. It doesn't matter if they made a promise or a deal with cartel members to push dope and other substances and sex traffic or whatever, or work in a field for a certain amount of time under a fake social while collecting benefits and all kinds of other things from the tax-paying American. It doesn't matter to them. To not all of them, but to a lot of them, they see Hispanics, particularly Mexicans, only as victims to society. There is no border for them. This is their land, according to the philosophy of a lot of them. And guess what, America? You think America's having that? You ain't learned from history? Y'all haven't learned from history. Let's just be real, right? I don't want to be disrespectful, but America whooped that ass. And then Mexico sold the Western states to America. This is what happened. They went to war, they got spanked, and America had mercy and said, look, let's just make a deal. We don't even want to go all into, we don't want to go further south and take more of Mexico. We just gonna take this. And here's the money for it. They made a deal. And Mexico agreed. Mexico agreed. And they've worked, this is the truth. They've worked with the Mexican community, meaning like people who are actually Mexican. They've worked with the Mexican country to allow many, many Mexicans to come into America to do work, to do different things. They've had agreements, Mexico and America. Not perfect agreements, but they've had agreements. They've worked together. And this is the thanks y'all give. Nah, y'all been resentful this whole time. This is what this is. Y'all have resentment against the United States of America. That's what you've showed the American citizens. Because you lost a war. It's not good form. It's not respectable. It's not. It's not. And most non-Hispanic people don't respect that. They don't. Now, I understand that I might be a little bit of a unicorn. Why do I say? Because according to statistics, 80 something percent of black people who voted for the Democratic Party. Meaning if black folks would have got their way, none of this would be happening because Kamala Harris would have been president. Do y'all know that a higher percentage of Hispanics voted for Donald Trump than black folks? 60 something percent of Hispanics voted for Trump. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting, isn't it? No matter where you come from in the world, when you get to America, you're supposed to be America first. And if you cannot be America first, then you should go be first. You should go live with whatever country you are most politically aligned to. Because treason is a crime. Treason is a crime. Treason is a serious crime. Treason in a lot of countries is punishable by death. And I hope you can understand why. Because a lot of the nonsense that America has allowed, the waving of foreign flags, the birthright citizenship coming over by the millions. Y'all do realize that y'all wouldn't have none of these problems if y'all wasn't coming over here by the millions. Y'all not coming over here 10, 20, 30,000 even at a time. Y'all coming over here by the millions. Y'all got a whole criminal organization that has now been deemed a terrorist organization called the cartels. All these cartel organizations have killed hundreds of thousands of people. The cartels with their drug sales have killed more Americans than every war in America, not in American history, but every war of recent American history combined. Combined. I'm African American. The crack era had a huge impact on our community. Where did the drugs come from? Fentanyl is killing hundreds of thousands of people. Where is it all coming from? These illegal immigrants are, where are they all coming from? The common denominator is the border. So now Donald Trump says enough of this madness. We need to control our border. Duh. And y'all mad. Y'all mad. You want to go in the street and protest against the law? Protest so that you can break the law, to have the right to break the law? No, no, no. Explain to me how America's law on unlawful entry into the United States is unjust. It is not unjust. Every country has the right to defend its border. Every country. Meaning that no, if Mexico in 20 years becomes this great nation, Mexico would be absolutely in its right to do things to keep Americans from just crossing over in the border and going having a child, and now you're a Mexican. No, no, no. So the logic of some of these people seems very much so off. The last thing I want to touch on is, you know, the lies of the left, man, the lies of the left, Latinos, the lies of the Latinos. What do I mean by that? I mean, very simply, there is a difference between a legal immigrant and an illegal immigrant. Donald Trump A said nothing about deporting legal immigrants. If you are legal in this country and you're here for a good reason, you're a good person or whatever, like you're a good contributing member to society, you're not gonna have to, you don't have to be worried about getting deported. ICE coming and doing all this and that, you ain't gotta worry about it. But to come into this country unlawfully is a crime. But so do you notice when these people throw together these marches, they always want to just put them all in one group. The day without immigrants. No, this is not what the reality. The reality is that the illegal immigrants are those who have the problems. Oh, but the raza, no, no, no. America first. America is a country of laws, brother. So you have to respect those. If I commit a crime today, I'm going to get separated from my family. If you commit a crime today, you going to get separated from your children. Your children might be there looking at you get handcuffed and taken away in a police car, crying their eyes out. Whose fault is that? Is that the police fault? Is that the governor's fault? As though the law is unjust and racist. At what point do you say, nah, brother, it's your fault, bro? You did XYZ, you broke the law. You're dealing with the consequence. That's on you. That's your fault. You are responsible for the tears coming down your child's face. You, sir, you are responsible for the breakdown of your family and your community and the embarrassment that your community is facing. It's not our fault. It's your fault. You did it to yourself. What you should have been ashamed at the fact that your people were coming here illegally by the millions. You should have been ashamed then. Don't be ashamed now when you got to deal with the consequences of that, which is ICE coming and giving you that reality check. Like you can't cry then. You can't say, "Oh, this is so shameful." I'm so No. You should have been ashamed when you was breaking the law. Because if you would have done that, if you would have had that common sense, then you would have known, damn, you would have seen what was coming, which is this. Y'all think America just shouldn't have borders? I don't understand the logic. It just doesn't make sense. You act like America became a great nation based on emotion or based on feelings or some nonsensical way of thought. America is a great country full of very bright, smart people. And sometimes common sense is simple. But we see in 2025 that everybody doesn't have it. I hope things get better. I hope American flags stop getting burned. And I hope ICE do what they do. Because I agree that the time is now that people put respect on America. Donald Trump got shot and immediately afterwards raised his fist in the air and turned the crowd up with blood coming down his ears. He here for a reason, y'all. You can love it, hate it, I don't care. You can't tell me that man ain't here for a reason. A lot of great men have not survived assassination attempts. He did and actually got shot and survived. Shot in the head, bruh, and survived. Said what he was gonna do and is doing it. And when it's all said and done, I'm telling y'all right now, Donald Trump is on pace to go down as definitely one of the greatest, definitely the greatest president in our lifetime. And he gonna be up in there, and when if it stay as it's going right now, and he keeps staying true to his word, he gonna end up going down as one of the greatest presidents in American history. Love it or hate it. Like, share, subscribe, fam. Comment below. Tell me what y'all think on this topic of discussion. Hey, listen, man. The Democrats full of lies, man. People try to make it seem like black men, like people didn't vote for Kamala Harris because they didn't want to see a black woman in power. Man, that is ridiculous. What's her name? Michelle Obama probably would have beat Donald Trump. Michelle Obama would have probably beat Donald Trump. Kamala Harris lost not because she was female, because she was, quote unquote black. She lost because her policies were trash. She lost because of her inability to see a problem and have a plan to deal with it. Donald Trump won not because he's this great guy, not because he people just love Donald Trump. He's just this white male, and so he's got all this privilege. And we that's not why Donald Trump won. None of that is not the case. He won because he was able to identify a problem and talk about a solution. And that's what Americans care about. Americans are tired of the nonsense. We can see what's happening right before us. So when we see a problem and you come up with a solution, you become the number one option for us because you're standing for us. You're recognizing the problems that we recognize and you come up with a solution. And that, my friend, is why he's in there. And he's doing a damn good job. Love it or hate it. Like, share, subscribe, fam. Comment below. Till we chat again, hey, it's a beautiful day. Y'all have a blessed one. All right. I'm out.